Okay, thank you so very much. We now go to our next speaker. Pardon me, the pronunciation is Mr. Gagarin Madaki. He's a multilingual economics graduate with 3 decades of experience as an exporter and farmer of precious metals and agricultural commodities. He exports his goods to 11 countries on 4 continents. His exports include tin, tantalite, copper, and zirconium silicate. Agro commodities such as ginger, turmeric, hibiscus flower, zobo, cashew nuts, sesame seeds, shea nut butter. Mr. Madaki is an enterprising enthusiast who is passionate about developing and promoting value addition in export trade. As a reformist, Mr. Madaki is dedicated to researching and implementing long-term agricultural solutions in a diverse, inclusive, multicultural industry setting. I believe we all know Mr. Madaki. He has been very active on the platform, giving us solutions to many queries. I hereby give the floor and thank you for accepting to be one of us today.
Thank you very much, Lady K, for that wonderful introduction. Greetings, everyone. Sorry, how much time do I have to talk?
10 minutes.
You know I talk a lot. You have to put a cap. So let's keep talking. Okay. Now, I must commend. I feel a bit. I have mixed feelings. I feel a bit cheated because Titi Ojo just said everything. 90% of what I had to say, she just brought it out. And I was like, oh my God, next time I should be the first one to speak. I couldn't put it better than the way she did. So I commend her. She has captured most of what has to be said. Chile also has cheated me. He has also spoken a lot about what I've had to say. But on that note, I must put this. I would try and just let me not discuss the problems. Let me see how we can discuss more solutions. If I discuss the problems, we'll talk for another 1 month and non-stop. Now, first, part of the issues you mentioned in the analysis about 95% of oil. I think that is where the problem is. We're still in a comfort zone. Government still has this comfort of getting income from oil. Now, what has happened in the rest of Africa is that these people do not have oil. So they have been forced to develop their non-oil sector, tourism, to attract forex. We have not needed that. First, what has been our problem, and it's a bit political to make this statement, is that the fact that we sit down and just share money at the end of every month makes a lot of those people, especially those people they call governors, very lazy. This problem cannot be solved only by the federal government. States have jurisdiction over products and natural resources are there. What are their various ministries of trade and ministries of businesses doing towards the development of the local sector? I am in Kaduna. I'm always going to the Ministry of Trade, and I've become a madman. I go, I speak, I shout, I rant, I read a speech. I say, look at the amount of commodities we have here, both solid minerals and agri. You have some of us, resource people. I'm not even asking for money. I'm a consultant, but I'm not asking for money. Let us organize the sector. Now, they're not interested. They have nothing to lose. At the end of the month, their salary is going to come because federal government is going to pay. So until we get to that point where oil is no longer sustaining us, frankly speaking, these things are just going to be rhetorics from government. Now, back to issues on ground. I can assure you that what Chimere mentioned, for instance, I will not try to overflow the issue. I posted the equivalent of sesame seed the other day. If you use what government is giving you, you are running at a loss. You are not even breaking even. You are running at a loss. Now, unfortunately, as an advocate for this export, I have been working hard trying to get a lot of young people I know to become exporters, one. Two, a lot of those in the informal sector have been trying to get them to formalize. But life is easy when they do it the unconventional way. The man takes a trailer load of onions from Sokoto and goes to, for say, 5 million naira, and he goes to drop it at the border in Cotonou, and the man gives him cash, CFA, 7 million naira. He has made 2 million naira. The system does not capture this. So, in agreement with what you said earlier on, there's a lot of trade going on through our borders that is not being captured. Now, the ginger market, which I am the spokesperson for the Ginger Association, hopefully be their president in the future. Now, ginger is a $3.4 billion business a year. Nigeria is number 3 in the whole world producer of ginger. We produce 523,000 metric tons of ginger. We only export in that $3.4 billion. Our mark in the international market is $10 million. I'm not the one saying it. CBN has the Office of Statistics has recorded 10 million out of $3.4 billion. That is what we export, or what has been captured. I can tell you stories of people that I have met along the way who will tell me, last year alone, with 120 million naira, they bought 4 trucks. That's what it cost them to move 4 trucks by road for ginger from Kaduna all the way to Togo, sold some, ended up in Sudan, sold it. Now that cash did not come through your banking system. That cash did not come through your banking system. That is money that they held in cash, that you can call it money laundering, or they kept it under their sewages or wherever it is. That is the problem. So when you come up with this your evaluation and you make the process harder, you scare away more people. People are talking about wanting to do business in Nigeria. Mine is far more than that. I have given myself just this year and next year. I am already to apply for a second citizenship. I am going to go and farm in Sierra Leone, Rwanda, or Namibia. It makes sense. I'm serious. I've given myself I've put over 50 years of my life in this country. You don't do. I'm done. I have talked, I have read it. You will want to make policy, you will not talk to stakeholders. And the arrogance of CBN during the Anchor Boras program, I was one of those who participated 6 years ago. I wrote a paper and I told them this is going to fail. I don't want to go into the details of why it's going to fail. I'll take our time today. But at the end of the day, CBN just listened to me, nodded their head. I said, okay. And then told us what they wanted to tell us. Exactly what it was saying. That's the attitude of CBN. They make up their mind. They come and they tell you. They don't listen. They talk to you and they tell you to go. So now, if you won't listen to boots on the ground about the problem, is it what they taught you in Harvard that you're going to come and teach me, copy and paste? It's not going to work. Moving beans from Potiskum all the way to Lagos, the process down, what they have to do, what you call clear the road. You have to pay certain fees. You have to handle levies on the road. These are not things they put in your business plan. So you come up with, oh, this is your cost. Now, let me tell you the thing about the rejection. We talked about NAFDAC and SON. Someone mentioned NAFDAC and SON. Now, 75% DG of NAFDAC is 75% of our goods are rejected. And let me ask you something. Why were they rejected? Pesticide levels were high in the bills that were sent, so they were rejected. In a lot of the other products, the aflatoxin and oflatoxin AFP1, that's aflatoxin B1, and oflatoxin AB2 are high. The standard for the EU is 50 milligrams per kilogram for AFB, 50 milligrams per kilogram for OTA. Which laboratory is going to give me the analysis to tell me that the ginger I'm carrying has AFB1 exceeding EU limits or OTA2 exceeding EU limits? Which lab? Which lab? Now, how some of us have been able to do it is that we have to control the entire value chain from the farming to the farm gate to post-harvest handling to washing to processing to export. You, as an individual, must control the entire value chain. You want to sleep in peace. And while doing that, you have to carry high blood pressure drugs in your pocket for Smarties, because dealing with Nigerians from that farmer, from that one, it is a chunk of change. Everybody wants to steal from you or wants to cheat you. The farmer is either going to mix dried and fresh goods and then put it for you. If you do not do a double check in the container before it gets there, molds that are affected the rest. And then once mold affects the rest, that is you are affected. So you see, it's a headache. financing agriculture. So as a result of that, you find that, like he has said, there's a sensitivity to the time. You give a contract, now you want to apply for a facility. I was speaking to a bank some days ago. I said, I need about $500 million. I'll do ginger. They said, okay, give us your contract. I said, no. They said, I will come to the contract. I said, because you take 2 months, the guy will be very angry, he'll be upset, the price will have probably changed. At the end of the day, if I collect the money, I may lose the money, I may not lose the money, I may divert, I may not divert. No, I will give you a letter of intent from my buyer. You will process my credit at the point of drawdown, put it as a condition precedent to drawdown, that I bring my credit. So if at that point in time, the prices have changed internationally, the prices have changed locally, I will have to redo my recalculation and give you new economics of production. Now, if you do that, they'll say we have to go back and rework the credit. So it's first, we need our bankers to understand how to fund export, especially agri. There's not enough time for me, so I'm not even going to start touching on the experience on solid minerals. I'm just sticking to agri, and I'm just sticking to one product. So if most times the banks just say, okay, he has done it 10 times, he's good at it, give us collateral, and then they go to sleep. But you can have all this knowledge. If you cannot, you can explain to them from morning to night. The guy in Lagos is just listening to you, head of credit. He has a checklist. If you don't meet the checklist, he doesn't approve. He left him, he goes to MD, he goes to MCC, Management Credit Committee. No, we don't understand. It's very risky. We have our house bought, they decline you. Then the CBN will come up with intervention funds that you can never access. They'll give intervention funds you can never access. Oh, we have 300 billion, 9 trillion. Come and access it. The banks will now say, at our own risk. They will now say, okay, you banks, you're taking this money at your own risk. You don't pay back, we debit you. The bank will tell you, the CBN will debit us. Oh, okay, get collect. Oh, okay, I'll bring collect. Oh, no, we're going to sell you. We don't like selling houses. We don't need your house. We only want extra comfort. You hear all sorts of stories. Bring your spine, bring your teeth, bring your cord. Oh, you have this. Oh, bring this. They must give you condition that they must kill your credit. The frustration is too much. Now we're looking at AFTA. I am feeling sorry for Nigeria with AFTA. We are going to be a dumping ground for a lot of other countries who have organized their sector. We are going to be a dumping ground. We are for a supposed 200 million. I know we're not more than 110. Politics says that we're 200 million. Fine. We are a dumping ground for most African countries. Everybody is eyeing Nigeria. And we're sitting around waiting. We have suspended AFTA by 1 year. And I keep asking them, on this committee of AFTA you have, how many of you have exported granite or sold tomato? How many of you understand that in one part of West Africa, when tomato season has a glut here, there is scarcity here. So when there's a glut here, there's scarcity here. Do you know you can leverage on that and move? Now, logistics, how do you move the goods? Oh, you can transport. Which truck are you going to transport? And you can use ship. You put it in container. We are not discussing maritime logistics around West Africa. Nobody's talking about that. And you're talking about AFTA. You have to use mask line. You wait 2 weeks for the booking. The container will go to Morocco. It will miss the other ship. Then from Morocco, it will not come back to Ghana. The guy in Ghana has been waiting. The thing in Nigeria is 6 weeks. That is the cheapest and safest way. So the fastest way is to go by road. Now going by road, God help him. Something happens to that truck on the road. What do you do? You're in Nigeria, you're in Kaduna, you're in Ogun, you're in Enugu. Your truck is between Ghana and Lome. What do you do if there's a problem? Is there a body that you can report to that has captured this transaction, that good in transit has immunity not to be harassed along the way? A police officer went for wrong parking. Nigerian Shippers Council can tell you this story because they had to intervene. For 3 months, he went and seized in Lagos. This happened 2 years ago. He seized more than 15 containers because they parked wrongly. The owners of the goods said, okay, finish the driver, give us our goods. The commissioner of police refused. 3 months. This is on record. They have to contact the minister, contact the presidency, contact the IG for that commissioner of police is still going to be promoted. He has not suffered any consequences. Nothing has happened to him. People can just wake up and one custom officer will just look at you and tell you what you want. Back to customs and CBN. It was the customs that had to tell CBN that this thing you're doing is in conflict with World Trade Organization. How incompetent is our central bank? They don't even know the WTO agreement anymore. That what the policies they're doing is in conflict. What we need is what other governments have done, where you bring a coordinating minister, someone that coordinates monetary and fiscal. You align monetary. Monetary has become so much of lions now that they are jumping into fiscal policies. These are part of the problem. So the issues are multidimensional. Where do you want to stop it from? You don't have lab, I cannot test. You are angry that it is being rejected. Give me money, you will give me condition, I cannot meet. You wake up, you now increase the protocol and bureaucracy of me clearing the port. I cannot get my goods out of the port. The charges are high, and we're all selling to the same market. We are all exporting to the same market. And then you are monitoring my dollar. Why, if I go ship in all those countries, what I do with my dollar, they don't care. You are demanding if I don't get dollar within 6 months, you will write me a letter, we will blacklist you. I said, nonsense. I wrote them, you are very stupid. Do you know that my goods were seized? They don't care where you got the money from. Now imagine if it was bank money. Although I don't want to hear, you send those their friends in suits and come and throw lawyers and start threatening you. So there are just too many issues. And for me, way forward, we have to address all our costs of doing business, ease of doing business. We need to resolve these issues. This e-invoicing, e-evaluator is the biggest headache. What Chimere has mentioned, you have a contract. Now, they might say, okay, we might penalize you and charge you X because like in shea butter, I'll use an example, the full fatty acid level is far below what we think. Okay, for that, we're not paying a premium. We're going to discount it. Now I've given an invoice. You are telling me now that you have paid the price. Whoever this your guy is that you are trying to arrange money for, that is going to be analyzing the product for CBN. He's sitting down somewhere and looking at, I do not know what way they're going to get their all prices for. They'll peg your price for you and say, this is the price for me. If you know the price, CBN, we don't the money I'm going to export now. Why are you telling us? You know the price, you know the market, go and sell it. Why are you telling somebody to tell them that this is the price you should get for this product? Do you know that there are charges and there are discounts and there are penalties if yours has IE, maybe some form of lead, IE, some form of aflatoxin? Nigerian ginger and Indian ginger have a difference in $400. That is the difference in price. $400. Why? Because of our post-harvest handling. So our quality technically is higher, but our post-harvest handling is very poor. So you find out that when you take it to Europe, they would tell you ginger of Nigeria origin. And I told them, no, this is international price. They said, why? Yours has this, has that, has chicken shit, has this one, has whatever, cat tire, somebody's from C++, math, everything that is in it. No, we need to take it into account. We call it reconditioning.
Okay, you have 1 more minute to round up. Thank you.
Yeah, they will take you through a process called reconditioning, steam sterilization. That process costs about 350 euros per ton. Now, what they do is that they defer that cost on ginger of Nigerian origin. So if this organization decides to go and access Bloomberg or check the international price for ginger, and you are getting a discount from that price, they query you that is below 2.5%. These people making these policies, I don't know if they bring them from the moon. I honestly don't know. Because they are not talking to us. They don't understand the dynamics. If I'm exporting lead or zinc, the price you pay me for lead of 40% content or 80% content is different. If your lab here analyzes at 35, international lab analyzes it at 15, I don't get the same price. It's included in it, but you are going to query me because it is below your shortfall. It is crazy. It may even work for importers because standard prices of manufactured goods is what we import, no raw materials. So it may even work that, okay, the price of the car cannot be more than this. The price of bringing Maggi from this country cannot be more than this. You might work, but for exports, especially when we're not really adding value, in quotes, it is very difficult for you to peg a price. And there are fluctuations. Is your evaluator going to be matching the fluctuation and know that the price in Qatar is different from the price in the market in Dubai, is different from the market in Sudan, is different from the market in which one is it going to use?
Okay, we're going to bring you in again during the Q&A session. And I know Mr. Boyede will share my views that we really need to bring you back for a full session. You have opened our eyes to so many things. Thank you so very much. You really deserve a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Mr. Boyede, are you there? I can see that you keep going in and out.
I am still, and I want to thank Mr. Madaki so much. The energy, the passion is effusive, and the points you have made. This again underscores the points that we have always, everyone on the Talking Trade group has been hammering on the need for consultation. You don't shave a man's head in his absence. And like you said, Mr. Madaki, I don't know whether it is it will ever be effective for policies to be formulated from the textbooks coming from Harvard. These days, there is the imperative of customizing, localizing even the best practices that you get from other parts of the world. Because the environment in Nigeria is not the same as the environment in Ghana. At the end of the day, with globalization, we are all going into the same market. AFCFTA is the same concept. At the end of the day, we are talking of one single African market. Of course, one single African market when you are selling. But the buyer obviously will always look for the best opportunity. And the best opportunity comprises where the quality is highest and the price is lowest. How do you ensure competitiveness faced with all the myriad of headaches, challenges, and problems that Mr. Madaki has enumerated? Thanks so much, and I hope that we continue this discussion in the Q&A.